Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If her energy suddenly shifts and you can't explain why, if she's watching you more than she's talking, if the air feels different, but nothing was said, don't scroll, because this moment decides whether you lose her or you've already won. Before we go deeper, take 1 second, like the video and subscribe, because what you're about to understand is the difference between chasing and being chosen. Most men think attraction looks loud. They look for obvious signals, dramatic flirting, clear validation, but real emotional investment from a woman often gets quieter, not louder. She stops performing, she stops trying to impress you, and to the untrained mind it feels like distance. But psychologically, this can signal comfort mixed with evaluation. She is no longer asking, "Do you like me?" She is asking, "Who are you, really?" When a woman begins observing more than expressing, her brain is moving from emotional excitement into long-term assessment. This is where many men panic and overtalk, overshare, overgive. They feel the slight drop in overt enthusiasm and assume they're losing her. So they try to win her back, right at the moment she's deciding if you are worth keeping. Calm men pass this test without knowing it's a test. They don't rush to fill silence. They don't demand reassurance. Their nervous system stays steady. And that steadiness communicates something more powerful than charm: emotional safety. To a woman's psychology, safety is the foundation of desire that lasts longer than chemistry. If she's a little more reserved but still present, still replying, still around, you are not in danger. You are under review. And review means potential. Indifference looks like absence. Evaluation looks like quiet attention. Right now, your job is not to perform. It's to reveal consistency. The man who stays grounded when uncertainty appears signals strength without aggression, confidence without noise. And that's the moment attraction stops being a spark and starts becoming an attachment. The mistake most men make right here is invisible to them. They think attraction grows when they increase effort, more messages, longer explanations, extra compliments, subtle attempts to prove value. But when a woman is in that quiet observation phase, excess effort doesn't feel romantic, it feels unstable. It signals that your emotional state depends on her reaction, and dependency is pressure, even when it sounds polite. When she starts leaning back slightly, she is creating space to see if you collapse or if you stand. This is not a game. This is biology and psychology working together. Her nervous system is asking one question: if life gets uncertain, does this man become chaotic or does he stay centered? Women are highly attuned to emotional shifts, not words, shifts. The micro change in your tone when she replies slower, the extra joke you force when she seems distracted, the subtle check-in disguised as casual. She feels the reach, and reaching, in early bonding stages, signals fear of loss. Fear of loss tells her your confidence is conditional. But when you remain the same man, same pace, same humor, same grounded presence, something powerful happens. Her brain registers emotional stability. Stability lowers her defenses. Lower defenses allow vulnerability. And vulnerability is the gateway to real connection. This is where many men talk themselves out of a win. They interpret her calm as fading interest, when in reality, she's transitioning from emotional excitement to emotional investment. Excitement is loud and obvious. Investment is quiet and careful. Think about it. When people truly matter, we don't act wild. We act thoughtful. She's thinking now, measuring character, not charm, consistency, not performance. If you can handle this phase without chasing reassurance, you communicate something rare. You are not trying to be chosen, you are choosing to. That subtle shift in power balance creates mutual respect instead of pursuit dynamics, and respect is the soil where lasting attraction grows. Not intensity, not drama, not constant stimulation, steady presence. If she's still there, still engaged in small ways, still responding, still giving you access to her time, the door is open. Your job is not to push it wider. Your job is to walk through it like you belong there. Here's the part nobody teaches men, because it doesn't look dramatic enough to sell. When she becomes slightly harder to read, your restraint becomes more attractive than your effort. This is where emotional discipline separates boys from men. Not silence as a tactic, not pretending not to care. Real internal steadiness. When a woman senses that you enjoy her presence but don't need constant confirmation. Her perception of your value shifts upward. Why? Because humans are wired to value what feels self-sufficient. Neediness says, "You complete me." Confidence says, "I choose you, but I'm already whole." One creates pressure, the other creates desire. She may text a little less, take longer to respond, seem more neutral than before. Most men read this as rejection and try to pull her back emotionally. But emotionally healthy women don't move closer when pulled. They move closer when they feel safe to. Safety, in attraction psychology, means predictability without boredom. You're warm, but not overwhelming. Interested, but not intense. Present, but not hovering. This balance tells her nervous system you are not a risk to her emotional stability. If you react to every small change, you signal that your emotional world is fragile. If you stay grounded, you signal that your world is solid and she is welcome in it, not responsible for holding it together. There's another layer here most men miss. When she pulls back slightly, she's also checking her own emotions. She's asking herself if she genuinely likes you, or if she was just enjoying attention. Your calm presence gives her the space to discover real feelings. Your pressure forces her to defend her space. Real attraction deepens in freedom, not force. You don't win by increasing intensity. You win by increasing emotional maturity. You let conversations breathe. You don't over-explain. You don't fish for reassurance disguised as jokes. You remain kind, steady, and engaged in your own life. That quiet confidence whispers something powerful to her psychology. This man won't lose himself if he cares about me. And that is rare. Rare feels valuable. Valuable feels attractive. If she hasn't disappeared, if communication still exists, if warmth still appears in moments, you are not losing, you are being weighed, and calm men feel heavy in the best way. Now pay close attention, because this is where the silent signals speak louder than anything you could ever say. If she suddenly starts sharing small details, trivial things, personal thoughts, glimpses of her day, this is her testing emotional access. Not full trust yet, just micro-investments. Every tiny window she opens is a clue. She's letting you in without demanding proof that you belong there. Most men miss this, because they're busy trying to impress instead of observing. The psychology behind it is subtle, but brutal in its truth. Women are wired to scan for reliability in men before they offer vulnerability. Vulnerability is expensive. Emotional exposure costs them something intangible, something they can't quantify: safety, respect, and future security. When she begins to give you these small pieces of herself without prompting, it is a psychological green light. She's signaling, "I'm interested in seeing what you do with this space." And the men who misinterpret it as casual chatter, they squander the opportunity by overreacting, over-texting, or over-analyzing. Here's the kicker. Her behavior isn't consistent for show. It's consistent to test boundaries. And boundaries are not obstacles. They are maps. She's mapping out your stability, your patience, and your ability to remain unshaken under uncertainty. Your reactions here are like data points she is silently collecting. Each moment you don't overreach, each pause you allow, each confident response you give, she stores it. Her brain notes, "This man isn't emotionally volatile. He can handle my complexity." When a woman gives these micro-clues, and you respond with quiet assurance, something profound happens inside her. Attraction shifts from temporary spark to durable attachment. She doesn't just like you. She considers keeping you in her life as part of her emotional ecosystem. And remember, this isn't about romance, gifts, or words. It's about the invisible dance of presence and restraint. If she flinches emotionally, you don't chase. If she opens slowly, you don't rush. You match her pace with steady energy. That is magnetic. That is the psychology she can't resist, because it taps into her subconscious need for safety, strength, and self-sufficiency. So when you notice her small, quiet gestures, a text with humor, a story about her day, a fleeting smile in conversation, recognize it for what it is, a signal that you're being mentally and emotionally weighed. And if you respond with calm intelligence, you're already winning the game she hasn't even admitted she's playing. Here's where most men completely misread the room, and it costs them everything without them even realizing it. When she starts initiating subtle contact, a casual text, a lingering glance, a small personal question, it's not about needing you, It's about testing your consistency. Women unconsciously measure whether your calm, grounded energy can coexist with their unpredictable emotions. If you falter here, even slightly, it erases all the progress you've made. But if you remain steady, you trigger a psychological phenomenon called magnetic respect. Magnetic respect isn't about being dominant. It's about being emotionally self-contained. When you can handle the slow pull and push, without anxiety, without over-explaining, and without seeking constant validation, you signal something rare, that your emotional world isn't dependent on hers. And rare feels valuable to her brain, more valuable than charm, looks, or status. She starts noticing nuances in your behavior she never paid attention to before. Small things like a calm tone, deliberate responses, subtle humor, and the absence of panic become proof that you are not just another temporary excitement. Now, this is where men usually make the fatal error. They interpret her subtle signals as permission to escalate, to overinvest, to try harder. But escalation too soon triggers tension. Women don't feel more attracted when pressure increases. They feel assessed. And being assessed feels transactional. Instead, attraction grows when she senses freedom to explore you at her pace. The less you force, the more she unconsciously leans in. Another truth that shocks men: when a woman quietly tests you like this, she is imagining a future scenario, not a fantasy, but a mental rehearsal of life with you. She's asking herself, can he handle uncertainty? Can he stay grounded under stress? Can he remain confident when I'm distant? Every calm, measured reaction from you answers these questions without a word. This is psychological leverage, invisible yet undeniable. If she's showing signs of mental engagement, teasing, joking, sending small updates, and you respond with patience and consistency, you are no longer chasing, you're being chosen, even if she hasn't admitted it yet. And understand this. At this stage, winning isn't about intensity. It's about mastery of restraint. Master restraint, and she subconsciously begins to see you as not just desirable, but indispensable. You're starting to exist in her mind as a constant, reliable force. And once that happens, the dynamics shift forever. She's not just interacting with you, she's investing in you emotionally, quietly, and profoundly. Now listen carefully, because this is where most men get completely blindsided. When she starts mirroring your energy, your tone, your humor, even your pace of conversation, it's a silent admission. She's already mentally syncing with you. This is not casual mimicry. This is deep psychological resonance. Her brain is recognizing stability, and stability is irresistible. Men chase excitement. Women unconsciously chase calm power that feels safe. If you notice this happening, you are already far ahead in the invisible game most men never even realize exists. The danger here is subtle. Men see mirroring and think, she's mine, and immediately escalate, over-texting, over-explaining, or trying to amplify connection through gestures or words. That kills the effect. Psychological attraction doesn't accelerate with effort. It compounds with restraint. The quieter, more measured, and self-contained your energy is, the more she leans in without realizing why. This is how attachment begins, quietly, without drama. Here's a truth few admit. A woman's mind weighs consistency heavier than charm. She remembers your energy more than your compliments. She notices how you reacted when she pulled back, when she tested boundaries, when she gave tiny glimpses of vulnerability. Each calm response from you is mentally bookmarked as proof. This man is steady. I can trust him. I want him in my life. That is how desire becomes more than attraction, how it turns into subtle emotional dependence without her losing respect for herself or you. And another hidden layer. When she mirrors you, her subconscious is evaluating compatibility, not in words, but in neural patterns. The more your emotional rhythm aligns with hers without forcing it, the more she experiences a sense of safety that is inherently tied to attraction. She isn't thinking, I like him. She's thinking, I can imagine a life with him, mentally and emotionally. This is far deeper than chemistry. It's intimacy at a psychological level, built silently, invisibly. If she's showing these micro-mirroring signs, your next move is deceptively simple. Maintain your grounded energy. Don't amplify, don't chase, don't perform. Let her feel the magnetism of your calm consistency. She will begin leaning in emotionally, offering glimpses of herself that she guards fiercely. Every tiny reveal becomes evidence that she's already committed mentally, even if she hasn't said it yet. The moment you recognize this, you understand the unspoken truth. You are no longer pursuing, you are no longer competing. You are already the man she is beginning to depend on, mentally, emotionally, and quietly. And that, my friend, is a win that most men never even realize they can achieve. Here's the part most men never see coming. When she starts testing your limits, not with words but with subtle behavior, she's revealing the truth about her feelings without saying it. Maybe she teases you, withdraws slightly, or shows small flashes of jealousy when others notice you. These micro-tests aren't signs of disinterest. They're proof she's invested enough to care, and her brain is actively assessing whether you're stable enough to remain in her life. The men who fail here panic. The ones who succeed remain grounded. That's the difference between being chosen and being ignored. A woman's subconscious operates on patterns, not promises. She doesn't measure your value by grand gestures, fancy words, or dramatic displays. She measures it by how reliably you respond to uncertainty. When she tests you, and you remain calm, consistent, and confident, you send a message far more powerful than anything you could text. I am steady, no matter what you throw at me. That stability triggers desire on a level that words alone cannot reach. Now here's what separates men who lose from men who win. Most men interpret these subtle tests as challenges to overcome, so they increase effort, overcompensate, or argue for attention. But the psychology of attraction works the opposite way. Less effort, more presence. Less chasing, more restraint. She's observing whether you will crumble or whether you will remain a constant. She's testing emotional strength, not your ability to entertain her. Strength without force is irresistible. And the quiet brilliance of this moment is that she is emotionally revealing herself while you don't have to ask for it. She's showing vulnerability without permission, trust without demand. Your reaction becomes the proof of your worth. Panic breaks attraction. Calmness builds it. Overreaction dissolves desire. Steadiness creates it. Every tiny shift in her behavior, a lingering glance, a soft laugh, a pause before replying, is a signal that you are mentally and emotionally winning. If you recognize this, you see that the game is no longer about chasing. It's about presence. It's about letting her reveal her true self while you maintain the calm, confident frame that makes her feel safe and drawn. At this stage, she's already decided, consciously or not, that you are someone rare, someone stable, someone worth investing her time and emotions into. And once that seed is planted, the bond you're building becomes nearly unbreakable. This is the turning point where most men don't even realize they've already won. Now here's the final truth most men will never hear. If she's behaving like this, pulling back slightly, giving small glimpses of herself, mirroring your energy, testing your calm, you've already crossed the line from attraction to attachment. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to chase. You don't need to perform. She's watching you, not for validation, but for consistency. And consistency, when paired with quiet confidence, is more seductive than charm, looks, or money ever could be. At this stage, every interaction you have is a reinforcement of your value. Every calm response, every measured word, every moment you don't react to her subtle tests is cementing her psychological trust in you. And that trust is far stronger than any declaration of love. Desire that grows from trust is magnetic, lasting, and almost impossible to break. You've moved beyond casual attraction into the realm where she sees you as indispensable, mentally, emotionally, and even subconsciously. Here's the hidden dynamic. When men overcomplicate or panic at this stage, they blow it. They try to accelerate intimacy or force commitment, which triggers the exact opposite effect: pressure, tension, doubt. But when you remain steady, present, and unshakable, she begins leaning in, mentally and emotionally, without realizing why. That subtle pull is far more powerful than any obvious pursuit. She is learning to rely on your presence, admire your consistency, and imagine life with you. The ultimate secret is this: winning her heart doesn't come from flashy moves or clever tricks. It comes from mastering your own mind, your own emotions, your own energy, by remaining calm under her subtle tests, by holding space without neediness, and by allowing her to reveal herself at her own pace. You've already positioned yourself as the man she can't ignore. She may not say it yet, but her mind is already choosing you. So if you notice these patterns in her behavior, understand this. You are not chasing. You are not proving anything. You are already in her world in a way most men never get to experience. Stay grounded, stay consistent, stay confident, and watch as she, without pressure, without drama, slowly but surely confirms what your restraint has already made inevitable. You've already won. Remember, the men who understand this don't have to beg, panic, or overcompensate. They simply exist as steady, confident, emotionally self-contained men, and that, more than anything else, makes her fall.